She don't take it back.
He dares her to do a line of coke. It's good. Lily is me. Me is Lily. Did I ever finish my thought about the this is why in my intro I say unhinged vlogs. It's going down. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for this week's video because I'm going to be having anyone who follows me on Instagram pick my books for the week. I'm saying for the week because y'all know typically I don't really do things for the week. Some of these books, I'm not having them literally pick my next book. Like I'm still reading other books. So I'm picking specific ones for them to pick, you know. But we're just going to say picking it for the week. I'm going to probably do 3 books, like 3 sets of 2. But I may do more, just depends. Because I have all of these from the library. And then I still have these as well. That's kind of what I see myself being in the mood for. But first, this clip is long overdue because I've been done the first one. So for the first one, I'll probably put it up probably right there. Was between 2 KU romances. On the Line versus In Desperate Ruin. On the Line is a line cook, a spicy romance, and In Desperate Ruin is BFF's dad. I low-key already knew they were gonna pick On the Line. I did start it like 2 days ago or yesterday. I'm gonna try and finish it today. This is about a girl named James. I actually spoke about this book in one of the new release videos that I do monthly, who ends up moving away because her dad is not financially supporting her in college since she decided to switch her major to an artsy one. She's now working at this restaurant where she meets Ozzy, and Ozzy has issues with his family. Like each of them have different issues. Hers is also the boyfriend that she currently has. He's very abusive. We find out some things. Ozzy, on the other hand, his dad is not really in the picture. He's on, I don't think he's on drugs. I think he's an alcoholic. He's not taking care of the kids that he does have like in the house. Ozzy is older, but he has 3 other siblings. He's not living at home anymore, but he feels guilty because as soon as he was of age, he moved out. But, you know, he's still taking care of some of his siblings. They meet at the restaurant because he is one of the head chefs. They start like a friends with benefit type thing. Now, this does have a little bit of cheating in it because James is still with this boyfriend of hers. Honestly, you can be rooting for her anyway. I am. I'm almost done with it. I'm loving it. Naomi Loud is one of my favorite authors. I've read every single book of hers since her debut. I do want to go ahead and pick my next ones that I want to post about. So I have these. I'm going to show you all of them really quickly. So these 2 I just got in the mail 2 days ago. This is an art copy of Relative Strangers by A.H. Kim. It's coming out in April 2nd. This is like a family drama. And this is a romance in a not so perfect world. Wish of the Wicked. These are my library books. The Neighbor Favorite, I said I was going to start tomorrow. So I may not have it in this video. I may just read it to read it. Anna Maria and the Fox. Or I could pit these 2 together. Colliding Worlds. I'm not reading this in here. Even if I put this against something, it's not going to win. I've never even heard of this book myself. I just saw it and got it. I have the second book. I don't know what the series itself is called, but this is called An Island Princess Starts a Scandal. The first book is in my 5-star romance, which I should have already posted by the time I do this. The first book was this one. A Caribbean Princess. Heiress, whatever. These Deadly Prophecies against Tender Beasts, but I know this one's gonna win. You know what I mean? So it's like some of these books that I'm pitting against each other, I already know what the outcome is gonna be. Say You'll Be Mine, which is a romance. The Partner Plot, another romance. This is the same author that wrote The Neighbor Favored. And lastly, I have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This book is a lot longer than I thought. So what am I feeling next? I've been wanting to read this one against the Deadly Prophecies because, or these Deadly Prophecies, because it's like they're 2 different ones. right? They're not giving the same vibes. Or because I also need to read this one. I know for sure I can't do this one because I want to read this one first. So this one's out. I don't see myself reading this right now either. Maybe I should split it like that. So these are the romances that I have. And then these are like thrillers slash like family drama. Okay, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go grab my mom really quick and tell her, because she don't want to be on camera, and tell her which ones I should pit against each other. Because honestly, I could go with any of these, so I'll be back.
Ah! Stay right there! She don't want to take a bath.
Okay, so these are, you can pick out of these. You pick 2 books. These are mysteries. Those aren't romance. These are romance. Pick 2 books that I'm going to post. I'm not reading both. I'm going to post about them, and other people are going to choose. I just don't know which 2 to pit together. Okay. This is number 1. And this one. So I'm going to be posting about these 2 on my Instagram. Okay, bye. Thank you. Good morning. It's Sunday, 10:52 a.m. I am still reading On the Line. Listen, when I got back yesterday, I didn't start reading till like 10 something, and then I fell asleep. I don't like reading at night. I'm on 69%, page 223. I have an hour and 19 minutes left, and I'm loving it. I think it's gonna be a 5, but again, I just love her writing, so duh. But I just can't help but feel that it might be a little too long. But I don't know if it's because there's so many chapters, and the book isn't that long. It's 300 and it's saying 42 pages. The epilogue starts on 316, and then the next thing is recipes, and that starts on 342. I can't imagine that the epilogue would be so long. I don't know if it's because there are so many chapters, regardless of them being short, that it feels like it's long. But I think another thing is, this book compared to her other, 3 books now? This one feels more on the erotic side, meaning to me, I just noticed that there's more spice in this one versus her other 3 books, which isn't bad. When I read books with heavy spice or erotica, I prefer for them to be a little bit shorter. Again, this is also the Kindle edition. I don't know how long the physical edition is. Also, update on my little poll. I don't really need to check, but I will anyway. As of right now, the romance one is winning. Not by much. In a Not So Perfect World is 55%. And These Deadly Prophecies is at 45%. There's a 2 vote difference. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of the votes. I voted for the romance. Child, I done forgot about y'all. I never came back after I finished On the Line. I am gonna give it a 4.5. Love the spice. I was definitely shocked by some of the stuff that was in there. However, this book in particular definitely feels a lot more different than her other books. Yes, there was plot, but I feel like it's almost straddling that line of being considered an erotica. But I think it's because of the friends with benefits trope. I'm giving it a 4.5 because I felt like when I got to about the 60% to all the way to like the 80ish%, it just felt a little repetitive, stagnant, like we weren't going anywhere. I think it's because of that friends with benefits trope. I guess I'm not that huge of a fan of that, but I read it. I think that was just it. I was very thrown off by some of the triggers. Not that I was triggered. I'm not gonna read them all out loud. If you wanna look it up, it's on, just download it on KU if you have KU. If not, I'm pretty sure it's on Naomi's website or something. I just don't, again, I'm not familiar with YouTube's guidelines and stuff, so I don't wanna read them all out loud. But I went ahead and read some of like the 2 stars and 1 star reviews. I think it was 1 stars. And someone said that she didn't mention that there was SA in the book. Girl, it's right here. It says SA while drugged / asleep. Girl, what were you doing on the content warnings page? It's right here. Maiming, I don't know what that is. hold it down. What does that mean? Like literally, I don't remember maiming being in here. One of the trigger warnings that I did see in here, but it wasn't until I read it that was just so out of pocket. Recreational drug use. He dares her to do a line of coke. Just do it. You know what I mean? So that definitely threw me off. Next, the book that I thought was gonna win did win, not by much. I don't know if I mentioned this, but that book was sent to me from HarperCollins. So but it's not an ARC, it's a finished copy. Obsessed with this book. You guys can't really tell. It doesn't look like a lot. That, and at the bottom are all the parts that I have to go back and tab. It starts off, we have a girl named Sloane, and she was just recently broken up with, so she's at this bar with her friend Tess. Yeah, I think it's Tess. And they have a bet that she needs to find someone and make out with them by the end of the night before this big interview that she has, because she keeps thinking about this ex of hers, Zane. I think his name is Zane. After they kiss, which they spoke first, her friend rescued her, and it wasn't until the friend is dragging her out that she made the connection that he's her neighbor. Not even next door, he's literally across from her. What ends up happening is we find out that our main guy, Charlie, was recently broken up with as well. However, he had planned a trip to Turks and Caicos with his current girlfriend, and he can't cancel it. So he decides that he wants to get back at his girlfriend because his ex ended up getting with someone who she said not to worry about. And he's like, well, I can't just not go because I won't get money back. So he convinces Sloane to go with him, but to also make it seem like they're together so that he can not only make the ex jealous, but make her want him back. That's a hot mess. Right now, it's a 5. I'm on page 150 and I'm devouring this. While I'm here, I also wanted to, since I'm almost done, you could say, I wanted to go ahead and choose the next 2 books and put that one up. I need to start reading my library books. I think I want another romance, but I'm thinking about putting these 2 together because I honestly have no clue which one is gonna win. Okay, I'm filming on my phone. I'm almost done. One thing that I never mentioned when I was talking about the plot is that our girl Sloane I did mention she had an interview, but the interview is for some kind of video game programming. And one of the things is it's run by men and very sexist, very misogynistic. They say, oh, you know, the only way that they will really hire her, they make it known that they're hoping that she is not looking towards getting into a relationship, having kids. It's a whole thing. And I knew going into it, because you know sometimes you go into it and you're like, you can already kind of guess the conflict. I was like, oh Lord, I'm so scared. So I'm kind of getting to that part because this is also fake dating. And guess what? Her ex, Zane, I always want to say Zach. I think it's Zane. Oh, here it is. He's the other finalist up for that position. I have no idea how this is going to end. I'm really loving it. Oh my gosh. That conflict is hitting. It's bad. Okay, update you guys. I finished it and I'm giving this a 5-star. Look at me with the 5 stars this month. Well, yeah, this was technically a March book. These are all my tabs. They don't look like that much, but that's a lot in my opinion. I was almost running out of them. I had 2 more left of that indigo color, that purplish, and then I think like maybe 3 or 4 left of that pink. The banter, it was the perfect amount of cutesy moments, banter. There is spice. I think there's about 2 spicy scenes, maybe 3. I think it's a lot of detail if you're not used to reading spicy, but if you are used to reading spicy, you might actually complain about it. I'm not complaining about it because y'all know how I feel about like rom-coms that have spice. I was fine with it if I sat down and really thought about it, Could I pick something that I didn't like? Sure, I probably could. Whatever it is, it's super minimal. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I could have read this all in the same day. The chapters are short. By the way, this was sent to me. I think I mentioned that, from Harper Perennial. No clue what that is. It's an imprint of HarperCollins through Biblio Lifestyle. It's not an ARC, it's a finished copy. I didn't necessarily have to read it first, but I did, and I really loved this. I do have another update. I think I had mentioned that I put up another poll, and it was between The Neighbor Favor and maybe Anna Maria. Low-key, I knew this one was gonna win. Anna Maria one would give it, you know, a little run for its money. It wouldn't be easy, child. I think the other one maybe got 5 votes. I was surprised by the amount it got. But this one won, so let's talk about it. So we have a girl named Lily. Here's Lily. She loves this book. It's right here. It's actually on here. It ends on a cliffhanger. And I don't know, she just emails the author, N.K. Strickland or N.G. Strickland, I think it's N.K., out the blue before she passes out, literally. And because there's no sequel, like they're like, what are you doing? And they become pen pals, and that's actually the first part. I think this book is in 2 parts. The first part is about 60-ish pages. It's literally titled The Emails, and it's just emails of them back and forth. I will mention this now. I almost didn't know how to feel about the book, because what I noticed with the emails, because you can see who it's coming from, and it's his name is N.R. Strickland, and it has the date, and the date, like when he specifically, his name is Nick, by the way, when he was like sending her, like replying to her emails, it would be like days later, weeks later, months later, and it was getting on my nerves, because I'm one of those people like, respond quickly, please. He ends up ghosting her when they're supposed to FaceTime. We start up part 2, which takes place 5 months later. She ends up meeting him. She doesn't know it. They're neighbors, because right now she's living with her sister Violet, one of her sisters. I'll say 30% of the way through that Nick, this is Nick, makes the connection, because when they were emailing each other back and forth, they talked about their lives. He knows her name. She doesn't know him by his name, Nick. She knows him by Strick. Where I'm at, that's why she hasn't made the connection. But he has, and he's like, oh my gosh. And he was actually getting ready to tell her who he is. Something happened. They kissed. Yeah. They kissed one night. Mind you, they're strangers, and I didn't know how to feel, but I'll get to it. Back to the plot. He's like being all weird. What we know is Lily ends up making a bet with her 2 sisters, because one of her sisters, I believe Violet, is getting married, and her sisters are always trying to set her up with someone, and it never works out. She makes a bet with them, hey, if I can find a date and bring it to your wedding, then both of y'all have to stop setting me up on these dates. She ends up, talking with Nick, who she doesn't know who he is. I'm not asking you to go out with me, but can you at least teach me how to be cool, be flirty, because she's very awkward. There's so many thoughts. It's good. I just didn't know how to feel, because this 60-ish pages of part 1, literally just the emails, took me forever to read. I would start it, I would stop it, I'd read a page, I'd stop, I'd read up an email, I'd stop. So it was this starting and stopping that really affected my reading. But once I got past that, I think part 2, we spent, a lot of time separately with the characters, seeing where they were now 5 months later. But finally, when we get to them being near each other, since then, I can't put it down. Like, I'm really loving it. The other thing that I kind of had to check myself is the character Lily is very awkward. And not really awkward in a quirky way, but awkward in a, like, be for real way. But I had to check myself and tell me, girl, like, Lily is me, me is Lily. The way that she acts in this book with men is me. I can't tell you the last time I talked to a guy, like, in the first place. It's been years. I think that's why I was, like, not hating on her, but, like, oh, she's so annoying. Like, look how she's acting. Because it's me. And everything, like, when we are in her head and she's telling us, like, how she feels and whatever, it's like, I relate to that 100%. I got over that, and instead, I embraced it. Did I ever finish my thought about the, this is why in my intro I say unhinged vlogs. I don't think I ever finished what I was going to say. He was gonna tell her who he was, but she ends up making the comment, oh, like, if I ever see him in person. I know how I want the conflict to unfold. I don't know if I'll get that. I hope that it is dramatic. And I thought I wouldn't like it. Who thought that? It's going down. And that's I will say this. What's happening right now does feel a tad early, in my opinion. I'm on page 288. I literally have a little under 100 pages left, like 98, 97. So I'm curious if we're gonna get something else. What's happening, it's not as dramatic as I would want. We still have a little time. Today is Thursday, April 11th. This video is supposed to be posted tomorrow, and I still have not given my final thoughts for The Neighbor Favorite. Good thing though, I did give it a review already on Goodreads. I ended up giving this book a 4.75. I've made a TikTok video about this already. I put it in my review. I may have put it on Instagram as well, but I'd like to thank everyone who encouraged me to read it because I loved it. I really did. I wanted to give it a 5 so bad, but I will say the beginning of the book, like the first 90-ish pages, it was a little slow. Once the two characters were in the same building and they started interacting with each other, that's when it like picked up for me. So this is like around the 100 page mark. I needed to go read these negative reviews because I don't understand why the rating is so low. But someone did mention that they would have preferred that the emails be somehow put into the story instead of it being separate. And I think that that is something that I'm gonna notice with Christina Forrest as a writer, because I did read the partner plot as well. It's like she gives the background of the characters just clumped up at the beginning. So I don't know if I would have preferred the emails somehow in the story. Probably not, because I would have been a lot of back and forth. So I think I do kind of like it just being at the beginning, but it did kind of take me out. So much so that I would start and stop the book, and that did affect my reading. That's a me thing for sure. One thing that I love is that I just connected so much with Lily, because Lily describes her awkwardness with men with the opposite sex, and she speaks about like the job that she's at right now. She doesn't like it, and I just feel like I related so much to her. And the funny thing is, again, the partner plot. The partner plot, no, let me not talk about it. It's gonna be in another video. Did it have a little drama? Oh yeah, it did have a little drama. We're always here for a little drama. That was it. I really enjoyed The Neighbor Favorite. Oh, it's a 3.80 on Goodreads. I mean, that's not that low for a romance, but for this romance, I think that's a little low. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm not even gonna go over what I read because I don't know. I'm currently editing right now. It's 72 minutes. I haven't done anything. And then I have to add this clip, so I want this clip to be short. So comment down below the clock emoji or watch emoji, because the time is ticking. This video needs to be edited and put out. Bye. I'll see you next week. Bye.